Okay, so we've been looking at similar figures. Polygons, just another word for figure or shape. So the directions say determine whether the polygons are similar. Okay, and similar means proportional. Okay, so we looked at those photos of the monkey, and one was stretched really tall and one was stretched really wide, and those were not proportional. Okay, so when we're talking about proportional, we're looking for equal fractions. Equal fractions. So looking at these two shapes, they're the same shape. Okay, longer sides are on the bottom and the top, shorter ones are on the sides. Okay, the figure on the right is just bigger. So we're looking to see if we made fractions out of these side lengths, are they going to be equal? Are they going to be proportional? And if they are, then we know that they're similar. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these numbers into a fraction. Okay, so I'm going to put the right side on the top and the bottom on the bottom of the fraction. Okay, so the right side over the bottom. So 5 over 14 for the first one. And same thing with this one, the right side over the bottom, 20 over 64. And when we're looking at proportions and these fractions, we're always looking for patterns, okay, or numbers that we already know. So I know just by looking at this, 5 and 20, I know that those are related. I know that if I multiply 5 times 4, it's going to give me 20. Okay. Now for these to be equal fractions or proportional, we should be able to multiply 14 times 4 and get 64. So let's try it. I don't know what 14 times 4 is in my head, so I'm going to do it over here. 4 times 4 is 16, carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. Okay, so 14 times 4 is not 64, it's 56. Okay, so since we didn't get this correct number on the bottom, we know that these are not similar. Okay, 5 times 4 is 20, 14 times 4 is not 64, so they're not similar because these fractions aren't equal. Now let's look at number 5 because the bottom problems are a little bit different. So it tells us each polygon is similar. So we already know that this triangle and this triangle are similar. Find the scale factor of the smaller shape to the biggest shape. Okay? So basically we need to figure out what numbers we can multiply by 3, by 9, and by 13 to get these numbers over here, 9, 27, and 39. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another fraction. We don't need to use all 3 of these. You just need to pick 2. So I'm going to pick the smaller numbers because they're easier to work with, 3 and 9. So I'm going to put 3 over 9. And then I need to make sure I'm picking the same corresponding sides on the other triangle. So I picked 3 and 9, so now I have to pick 9 and 27. So what we're looking for is how do we get from this fraction to this fraction? And that's what we call the scale factor. So what do we multiply by? That's our scale factor. So already I'm seeing a pattern. I know 3 times 3 is 9. And I know 9 times 3 equals 27. So see how we were able to multiply these by the same number to get this fraction over here? That's how we know they're similar. And then the scale factor is that number we multiplied by. We multiplied the top and the bottom by 3. So the scale factor is 3. Okay. Let's do one more. Let's go back up to number 2. So again, we're trying to figure out if the polygons are similar. So we're looking for equal fractions. So I'm going to do the left side, which is 9, over the bottom, which is 45. Same thing for this one, the left over the bottom. So now I'm looking to see, can I multiply by the same number on the top and the bottom to get these numbers over here? So already I see 9 and 18. And I know that's easy. 9 times 2 is 18. Whatever I do on the top, I've got to do on the bottom. So I'm going to do 45 times 2. And I need to check and make sure that that's 90. So I'm going to add 45 plus 45. So I'm going to add 2 of them. 5 plus 5 is 10. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 1 more is 9. So we did get 90. Okay? So since we multiplied the top and the bottom by 2 and we were able to get this fraction over here, we know that 9 over 45 and 18 over 90 are equal. Okay? When the fractions are equal, they're proportional, and so we know that they're similar. So these two shapes are similar. Okay? So you've got about 5 problems left to do on your own. Let me know if you need any help.